The girls are coming off of a great second place showing and a third place showing at the Metamora Classic. The girls are coached by Jamie King, assisted by Nick Stevens.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to this week's MPTV Coaches Show. Ryan Lindley, Brian Dieters here. Let's start with this. We got volleyball doing a great job. First place in conference. Only lost, I believe, once so far in the entire season, and they just got a win over Pekin.
I tell you what, I mean, when you look at this program the last couple of years, like, they're doing it right. You can just feel the positivity that comes out of that program with the way the girls present themselves when you have conversations with them in the hallway. So it's great to see. They definitely have the mojo, if you will, and heading in the right direction, heading into the postseason.
Absolutely. They got Dunlap tonight, and obviously we don't know what's going to happen, but we would say the Potters are certainly the favorite, you know. And then obviously as they get through the end of the conference season, they will close. They'll close with a Washington team that's very solid, and so that'll be a battle. But again, like you said, they present themselves, they have that energy, excitement, high expectations.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, I think the thing that's exciting, too, with this group is they had such a great run, of course, last year, had some key people that they lost from graduation. But these younger kids now are getting to the point where they've had that season of testing all season long, so the postseason is like a new season in itself, and that experience is now there with that young group, and sky's the limit, so that's pretty exciting.
Absolutely. So let's talk about another team going into the postseason. It's our girls golf team. They got the conference tournament, which will be played later this week, but they were undefeated in the regular season in conference play, and I had a chance to catch up with Coach King, so let's go ahead and watch that. We got Jamie King here, our girls golf head coach. And Coach, just talk about how's the season going so far.
It's been a lot of fun. Golf season is fast and furious. You know, it's 8 weeks in length, but I mean, it's just jam-packed full of practices, matches, and invites. So this is my first year as a girls golf coach, so it's been especially hectic just getting to know the girls' side of things and how things operate, and getting to know a new team and all the members of it. But it's gone very well. The girls actually just finished the regular season undefeated, 7-0 in conference play, and I know we'll talk about a few other highlights, but it's just overall been a really successful first year for me, and then, but more importantly, just the girls have really competed at a high level, which has been fun to watch.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, conference obviously awesome. Talk about, like, outside of conference, some of like the invites and things that have gone really well. So
yeah, we've got a ton of 18-hole invites on our schedule, which can just be, you know, taxing both physically and mentally with long rounds, and then especially this season with the heat being what it's been. But a couple of highlights of the year: the girls won the Richwoods Scramble, so that was 5 girls and the coach got to play.
Very nice.
And it was a three-team playoff. All of us were 10 under par, and we won the scorecard playoff, which was a lot of fun. And then probably the highlight of the season, aside from going undefeated in conference, would be the Pontiac Invite last Monday, where we finished first as a team, and then we had 4 girls in the top 5 actually at that invite. So Anya Ruxlow got first. Peyton Hayes got second. So pretty cool winning the team title and then having individuals finish 1-2.
Awesome. And how does that, you mentioned Fast and Furious, I'm looking outside and seeing some questionable weather today. How does that kind of, you mentioned heat earlier, just battling the weather, how does that kind of play into the season? Yeah,
and that's something that we try to talk about over and over, is just being the most mentally tough team out there, because again, you can only control what you can control, right? And the weather is out of our control. So trying to be prepared is the most important thing, whether you've got plenty of water, whether you've got the correct clothing. And a day like today with the elements, we're going to go out to Lick Creek and get a practice round in on the back 9 for the conference tournament, which is coming up on Thursday, and just kind of battling and just kind of adjusting your expectations and realizing that what a good score would have been yesterday in the sunshine, it might be a little bit different today, and just kind of doing the best you can with the elements and the weather that is being presented on that specific day.
So you mentioned conference tournament. Just talk about what's coming up. You got conference, then obviously headed into, conference is postseason, but heading into the IHSA postseason after that.
Yeah, so Thursday's a big day. Like I said, third time, pretty proud of it, but the girls went 7-0, but the conference tournament's weighted. So Morton is 7-0, Dunlap is 6-1, and then the host Pekin, who are very good on their home course at Lick Creek, are 5-2. So it's going to be a battle battle, and the way it shakes out is whoever wins. For the most part, whoever wins the conference tournament a lot of times can end up being the season-long champ. So while we're very proud of our regular season efforts, that doesn't do us a whole lot of good come Thursday. So we got to be mentally prepared and ready to compete at a very difficult golf course at Lick. And then postseason starts the following Tuesday. So we will go to Lake Bracken in Galesburg, and that'll be the host of the regional tournament, and top 3 teams advance. And it's a loaded regional, one of the best in the state. So the girls will have to play very well to advance, but I like their chances. They're trending in the right direction and playing some of their best golf at the right time.
Awesome. And last question for you, just kind of general, but we've talked about golf a few times on the show. So Brian Dieters has been helping me host this, and he's a very avid golfer.
Yeah.
So what's the biggest golf tip you would give somebody that maybe is more of a novice golfer?
The most important thing is finding the center of the club face, right? So a lot of times we want to swing as hard as we can, thinking that generating a ton of speed and swinging harder means the ball goes further. And in some instances that's the case, but really it's finding the center of that club face. And if that means having to take the foot off the gas a little bit, sacrificing a ton of distance, that's okay. A little bit of distance, that's totally okay. Because at the end of the day, finding the center of the club face, the ball is going to go further. You'll have less dispersion, and it'll go straighter and far more accuracy.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
We appreciate it, and good luck.
Wow. I mean, he's crazy excited, and you can tell that he's very fired up, that he's got a great group of girls, hugely successful, and obviously, again, another group of strong kids, good students, and, you can see Coach King's pride in that group.
Unquestionably. What a great guy himself,
Yes.
moving to the other side of it. He was the boys coach forever, and now with the girls, and continues to have that zest and fire, that the commitment that you need to run a great program. So hats off to Coach King and to the girls. Best of luck. I know they play, I believe, at Lick Creek.
Yeah, that's what he told us during
It was just going on, right? So yeah, that's what he said, which is a tough course. So keep your driver in your bag.
Yeah.
Nice.
We'll be interested. We'll be interested to see how it goes. I mean, better them than us, though, right? I mean,
For sure.
They I'm sure will, do a great job.
Absolutely. Best of luck, kids.
And then let's talk a little bit about, sport that obviously is near and dear to your heart, which is soccer. Soccer 1-1 in the last couple games, a win over Pekin 4-1, and then unfortunately lost to Limestone.
Yeah, it's a young team. It's an injured team. There's a lot of adversity going on with that group. And so, my kind of take on it is, if I was giving them a pep talk, it's like, now's the time to use this as an opportunity. Do you want to move forward with your season and improve and be ready to compete in the postseason when everything's new and everybody's 0-0?
Yeah.
And that needs to be their approach. So keep sticking with it, guys, and you'll get through this adversity and keep getting better. That's what you got to believe.
Absolutely, and again, we'll keep you updated on them. But like we said, volleyball, soccer, some of these teams get a little closer to the postseason, right? Which is always exciting time of year, and like you said, kind of that mental reset. If you've had, not necessarily, and not to say they've had a bad year, but just if you're about that 500 team, your opportunity in the postseason, reset back to 0-0, and be that team that makes a run.
Everybody's got a chance. I had a lot of teams over the years that maybe didn't have the most successful of regular seasons, and ended up having great runs in the postseason. So, you might need to do that reset. Or it might be a team where you have a season like the volleyball team where you want to keep it going. So every group is different, every situation is, and obviously we wish the best of luck to all of our teams as we do get close to this kind of postseason vibe here in a few weeks. October is right around the corner.
Yeah, absolutely. I know boys golf also going to hit the conference tournament soon. We talked last week about our swimming and diving team, another team that is a little bit more of a compressed season, kind of like the golf, that they're going to be in the postseason soon. So, and then tennis too. We mentioned them last week as well, but they got a little more time before they hit the postseason. But again, like you said, before you know it, when you hit October, you start getting those postseason schedules out, and one group that is still kind of looking to try to crack that postseason is our football team. Unfortunately, they fall to Metamora this past weekend, 40-37, close game.
Yeah.
But it puts pressure on these next couple games. They got Pekin for homecoming this week, and I would say in terms of like postseason, it's obviously it's not a postseason game, but it's got a lot of postseason implications.
Yeah, and I think that's an okay way to look at it. Like, the guys have played 4 games now. They've had some tough teams they've played. The result at Metamora, I can't imagine is really all that terrible when you think of the past of Metamora, their tradition and being on the road. But Now I think it is. It's kind of like, if we want to be honest, their backs are against the wall a little bit, but that's okay. You can use that as an edge. And the conference is tough. East Peoria has stepped up. Pekin has stepped up. But I think these are teams that our guys can get and put themselves in position to get to 5 wins. Realistically, I think that's something they should shoot for.
Absolutely, and again, they take on Pekin for homecoming 7:30 at Carper Field this Friday night. If you cannot make it to the game, feel free to tune in on both MPTV and the NFHS network. We'll have that coverage. Brian Gordon and Lou Smith will be on the call, and we wish them a great call and the team the best of luck, and the best of luck to all of our Potters teams. We'll be back next week to update you once again. But for Brian Dieters, I'm Ryan Woodley. Goodbye.